Let's take a look at some of the auto layout features in ImagePrint 9. Under the Advanced tab, we have Layout Style and the Auto Layout Settings. The Layout Style allows us to control the orientation that the images are brought into ImagePrint. By default, it's set to rotate to fit, but if we wanted to force the orientation to be as the image was when it was saved, then we would set it to As Is. Rotate to fit, what it'll do is as images come in, if there's a better orientation on the page for the image to fit, then it'll rotate the image automatically. And we'll take a look at that. I'm going to go to the auto layout settings, and we're going to set a 4:6 photo size. And I'm going to turn on the placeholders to show how many of those images 4:6s will fit on the page. And we're going to load some various images here and see what happens. Now these images, they came in the orientation they were saved at, but let's go to a landscape image here and see what will happen. So the software automatically looked at the orientation and knew that it would fit better if it rotated it, so it rotated it to fit as a 4:6 in a landscape image rotated to a portrait. We'll continue to load some more images and take a look at what happens when we get to the end of the page here. Okay, so we're at the last image of the page, and we're going to take a look back over to the settings, and notice I have autoflow checked. And what autoflow is going to do is on the next image, it'll automatically create a new page and continue to lay out images. And we can see down in the lower right-hand corner here, we have page 202, and we can toggle between the pages by using the page control arrows here. So we can continue to lay out as many pages as we want to, and the ImagePrint will size them and keep creating those pages on the fly. Let's go to the double scissors down here. That's going to delete all pages. We're going to go back and look at some other controls here. Let's look at, let's say, an 8:10. And notice with my placeholders on, it automatically looked at how many of those it could fit on a page. But let's just say we wanted one image and we wanted it centered. So we'll hit center automatically, and it automatically knows that if you're going to center an image, we can only have one on a page. And now with autoflow on, what it's going to do is create one centered image per page. And this is how we can quickly create workflows in ImagePrint, and we can also save these workflows. So things that we're going to do repetitively, we can go into save this layout scheme, and we can give it a name. So we'll call this an 8:10 on a 13:19 page. Centered. And we'll save that. And now when we want to come back to future use, we can just load that layout scheme and be right back where we were. And where this comes real in handy is if we're doing borderless sizes. Let's say we were doing a 4:6 and we wanted to automatically size that so that the image was slightly over the page, and we can do that very easily. Let me show you how that's done. I'm going to go to a custom page size, and we're going to create a 4:6, and we'll name it 4:6. And we're going to save that and say OK, which will set that size. And now we have to go into our borderless mode. So I'm going to do that. And now we can see how much over the page we're going to be printing. And I'm going to move my little XY origin point off the page here a little bit. And we're going to set the size to be just slightly larger than the 4:6. So I'm going to go to a 4.1 and a 6.1, and what's that's going to do is automatically size the image slightly over the 4:6 so it prints perfectly borderless on the page, but we're not going to lose that full 1/8 of an inch. And let's go ahead and bring in an image and see how that's going to be. And I'm going to move this off the page again a little bit over here, and we'll bring in an image. And there we go. We have a 4:6 perfectly placed so that it prints borderless without losing a lot of the image, and we'll have no white edge on any of the sides of the image. And I'll go in and say save that layout scheme. We'll call it a 4x6 borderless. And there we have it. And those are some of the easy ways we can control the auto page layout in ImagePrint 9.